Hello guys and welcome back. So in the last video we successfully connected our application to Firestore. Now let's continue building our application. So the first thing that I'm going to create is a constant class. Okay, this is where we're going to put some route names and then some constants. Okay, so here just in the lib I'm gonna right click and then create a new file. Let's call it constants. Okay, constants.dat. So this is going to be a class constants. So in this class we're going to have first of all, let's start by route names. Okay, let's say route names. Okay, so let's start with static const. We have a home route and then we're gonna have a login route. Maybe let's call it sign in. Okay, sign in route. So this is going to be a sign. I'm gonna say sign in like that. And then let's also have verify email. Okay, let's static const. Not really a sign up route. Let's have a verify email. I want to say verify email route. And then what else? I want to also get a forgot password, because all of this I'm getting from the package, the routes that it's got. Forgot password route. So let me just create these really quickly. All right, so we've got these routes here: home route, sign in, verify email route, forgot password, profile, landing, phone verification, SMS verification. Okay, for now I'm just gonna need those routes, and then I'm just gonna also need the Firestore collection. So yeah, I'm gonna have users, and then let's also have Firestore storage bucket. So yeah, profile images bucket is going to be profile images. Maybe I'm gonna put it like that: profile images. And then what else? Maybe I'm gonna use the cached manager. Yeah, let's also do cache manager, because this application can grow. We want to just make it to put more of the things. Okay, because I want to use to catch some images to catch the user image. Okay, so here I'm gonna put this as user image catch key. Yeah, just like that. Then what else? Maybe we are going to create the user model later on. Okay, yeah, to saving the data we're going to need the user model. So let's go user model constants like that. So first it's going to be the username, but I'm not going to call it username. I'm just going to call it name. But maybe let's start with the UID. Just going to be UID. And then here now we have an email, and then we also want to have a name. Okay, static const string name. Okay, let me also just write this really quickly, and then we want to have image. All right, so yeah, we're gonna also have that just a basic user model to have all this data that we will save in Firestore. Okay, yeah, I think the constant class is done just like this. Just create the constant class quickly like that, Then we can go ahead and close and save this. Now the next thing is now to work here on the main.dat. Okay, so what we're gonna start with here is the routes. Okay, so here instead of home we are going to call initial route. So initial route here, maybe let's call our constant class constants. What am I missing? Constants dot, let's call it a sign-in route. Okay, so let's import our constant class here, then we just call our sign-in route. Okay, now here we need to create the routes. All right, so for this, let's create a separate method to display all the routes. Okay, so what we're gonna do is let's come down here and then let's just create a map. Okay, so map, this is going to be string dynamic, yeah, like that. This is going to be routes. Okay, and then here let's just simply close it. So the sign-in route, this is going to be a sign-in screen. This sign-in screen is going to come from the Firestore, the class of Firebase UI. Okay, so let's import this Firebase UI. This is going to be the sign-in screen. Okay, the home screen is going to be our home screen. So for now we only have these two screens, and then also we can also put the profile screen. Okay, let's do constants dot profile route, which is going to come from our package, the Firestore Auth UI. Okay, now here we simply just going to call routes. Okay, then just like that we are done. So what is missing here? Are we missing a bracket? Let's see, why are we having the error here? I think we're missing something. So okay, so here instead of calling this method like this, let's maybe name it let's first create the local method. I'm gonna call it build routes, and then it's going to be a function like that. And then instead of doing it like this, I will simply close it like that. And then instead of this, what I'll do is I'll cut this out of here. Okay, cut it, and then I'm going to return that now. All right, and then close that, and then close that here, and then now the error is gone. So let's copy this and then put it here. Okay, so now we're gonna say build routes. Here we need to create it like that. All right, maybe let's say up routes. Okay, I'm gonna copy that and then put it here. So now with this, if we just put this sign-in screen here, with this we have already put one method already for email sign-in. Okay, so let's go ahead and hot reload and then see what we have, because the initial route here is the sign-in route. Okay, so we have this error, which we have to stop the application first and then run it. All right, let's close that, and then we'll see if we will still get an error. Okay, first of all, let's just wait for it to run. All right, now you can see that we already have a sign-in screen just with this. Okay, because the initial route is a sign-in screen. Now in the sign-in screen, we need to put the provider so that we can show the provider here. So let's put our first provider. But to put the provider, we need to configure the providers first. Okay, so what we're gonna do is even this sign-in screen, profile screen, we need to create a separate class to put these inside. But before we do that, first let me add the first provider here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. For that, what I will do is I'm gonna come here and then in the lib here, create a new folder. Let's name this API. Okay. Now in the API, I'm gonna right click and then create a new file. So this one, let's call it Firebase auth. What am I going to call this? Firebase auth config, like that, and then dot. So let's create this class Firebase auth config, and then like this. So here, let's create a static method, static what I'm gonna go it, static void. I'm gonna say configure providers. Okay, like that. Now inside here in the configure provider, okay, it needs to be lowercase. In the configure providers here, I'm gonna call now those providers. So first we need to call Firebase auth config. I mean, not Firebase UI. It's a Firebase UI auth from the package. Okay. And then the configuration, okay, configure providers like this. Okay, now here we need to have a list of providers inside here. All right, if we close it now, inside here we need to put the provider. So let's put the first email provider like that. So after the email, we can also have a phone provider like this, and then and so on and so on. We can have Google provider, but all of the other providers, we need to install other packages. So for now, let's start with email and phone. Okay, just like this, we have configured these two providers, and then we just need to call this method in our init state. I mean, in our main.dat. Okay, so let's go back to our main.dat. Now here in our main.dat up here, okay, before we again run the application here, we need to call our Firebase. Okay, so let's just paste. Okay, you can see that our assistant already knows. So we need to import this, and then let's just put the comment here. Okay, configure providers. Okay, so now with this method, we are configuring the providers here. Okay, now this is not enough. Here now in the sign-in screen, which means we need to initialize those providers. So let's remove the constant keyword, and then here we need to check here. What is it? It's is it Firebase? Is what's that method over here? It's auth providers here, the auth providers. Okay, so let's call it here. So it's going to be providers. Okay, we have already configured our providers. So what we need to do here is just need to call Firebase UI auth, and then here we need to say providers for, and then here again we're going to say Firebase auth should be Firebase auth dot instance dot app, like that. With this, we are going to call the providers that we have configured in the sign-in screen. Okay, so let's go ahead and run the application again. Then we are going to see the providers that we have configured in our Firebase auth configuration. These email provider and phone provider. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's just wait for the application to run. Okay, so you can see now that we have the email provider and then the phone provider is here. So it is as easy as this. Like this, we have set up the email and phone. So if we click on forget password, we can also do this, but we will also do more functionalities for these other methods. Okay, and then if you click on phone sign in, you can enter the phone here, but okay, unfortunately we can't. Okay, we can go back. Think, yeah, it takes us to the home screen. Okay, yeah, so if we hold reload, let's just hold reload because we haven't done all the customization of the navigation. Okay, so we will do all of these, guys. So right now you can see that with the two configurations that we've done, adding the email and the phone auth, we have the. So right now, if we click on register, it's going to take us to the register screen. If we come to sign in, it's going to take us to the sign in. Okay, with this, you are basically done for the email sign in. Okay, you just need to go in Firestore and enable these, but we are not done yet. This is going to be a complete guide. We are going to do a lot of customizations here, how we can save the data, how we're going to go to the profile screen, and then also add user data and all sorts of things. Okay, so let's end this video right here, guys. In the next one, we are going to continue working. First of all, before we go to the phone, we will first work deeply on the email and password sign in. Once it's done, we will go move on to the phone, and then to a Gmail, and then Facebook and other providers. Okay, so thank you guys once again, and see you in the next video.